All right, we're here at the we're back with the season 3 of Hunters Hangout. I hope everybody has a chance to watch. We have a new exciting guest and contest coming up, and we have a new website also where you can go and check out everybody's hunts, Facebook pages, and definitely go register and check out everybody's profiles. You can actually go share your profiles to your Facebook pages, your websites, everything for everybody to check out all your stuff. And we're going to hand it over to Jim, and he's going to go through everything and get us started.
Wow, so quick.
It was quick, dude. It was quick.
Butterflies in the air.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Kidding, no
You
kidding.
can tell when I start moving around.
I was nervous watching you.
I know. You're making me nervous.
Oh, no. Well, I tell you what, we've got, this is kind of fun. This is something different. You know, as he mentioned, this is season 3. However, this is a pre-season 3. So our actual season will start in February. But we thought it would be kind of fun to throw something together to bring in October, our favorite month. This is our month, people. Yeah. Come on now. Let's hear it.
There we go.
So we thought it'd be kind of fun just to throw some people together. I know Chris and Jeff could use a break. They've been working hard, and so is Craig and Melissa. So we figured, what the heck? Let's throw them in here and give them a break. So we appreciate everybody taking the time out, also and taking a break to watch us fools. And what the heck, you know? This is fun. We miss it just as much as everybody else.
Right. And don't forget that if you go to our Hunters Hangout page, you can also look at all the past episodes, and we're recently putting it to audio, so as you're working on your props, you can listen to it. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, we got all kinds of fun stuff happening.
Yeah, all kinds
more importantly, I know Jamie's throwing it out there too. And huge props to Jamie.
He found the tool.
Okay. We're going to have to kick somebody off here really quick. No, I'm just kidding. But we've got all kinds of things. But what I was saying is big props to Jamie. Jamie's been a huge help in the driving force behind the page.
Oh, yeah.
I know she's thrown it out there that if you've got any suggestions, comments, please give us that feedback. If you go onto the webpage, you can go at the bottom. It says report any issues. Well, you know, there's an email address there. Send that email. Just let us know, because frankly, the webpage is for us. And when I mean us, it's for everybody. It's for the Hangout. So the better we can make it for everybody, the better we'll all enjoy it and have a good time with it.
HuntersHangout.org. So just so you know.
Definitely.org. But also, while I'm thanking people, we've got to thank Julie. She's also our new addition to the Hangout. She's helping us behind the scenes and getting everybody organized, because, frankly, relying on Jose has been a little much.
The harshness of it all. So it's like a full-time job trying to put.
No, that's exactly right.
So she will be. If you're on the show, you will hear from her, not from us, but we will be in the video chat prior to the show. But Julie is the main person that will be doing all the hookups.
Yep. So thank you. Huge thanks out to Jamie and Julie. So they're the driving force behind us. So thank goodness we've got to help us, because certainly we can't help ourselves.
We can drink now. So not that we didn't before.
Well, we'll wrap up a couple other little things here real quick. We do have a couple giveaways tonight. This happens to be the 2014, but tonight's giveaway is going to be the 2015 Halloween Haunt calendar. Yes, that Hector Turner puts together. So he's generously given us 2 to hand out tonight. So stay tuned, and we will announce the winners at the end of the show. And those winners will be from the comments. So the more you comment, the more questions you ask, the more interaction that you have amongst yourselves and the questions for our guests, the better chance you have to win. So.
And most of all, don't forget, go order the calendar. It has all your favorite hunters on it. Get that calendar.
Yep. So when we're not on with our guests, calendar.
And I'm fielding questions as before on YouTube and Facebook, but as you'll notice on Facebook, it looks a little different now because we've actually posted the live feed of the video. So instead of a picture at the top that says questions, it's just the video itself. So just ask them there, and I'll forward them to the people.
Yes. Thank you, Brett.
Talk about, like, bam.
Oh,
let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it.
Well, I tell you what, now that we've got all that housekeeping issues out of the way, the most important thing and the reason why we're here is our guest. Our guest. We have guests.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, to introduce our guest, first off, we have joining us, we have Chris and Jeff Davis from the Davis Graveyard. Say hello, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
Found it just
And our most vocal guest, we have Craig. Yes.
Yeah.
Undo Hunt.
The Gregster.
Yes. Say hello, Craig.
Hello, Craig. You know me too well.
And a person that's been on fire lately and has been all over the place, we have the one and only Hauntzilla, or as everybody else may know her, is Melissa. From Terror on the Hill. Say
Hi.
She froze up. I was like,
I know, I was nervous.
We lost feed or something.
So thank you guys for joining us, and of course myself, Jay Wall. We've got our other host Diablo and Brad Goodspeed in the house.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Well, I guess we'll just jump into this real quick. One of the things I'd like to start with Melissa real quick, just because there's going to be a lot of us I know that are very familiar with the Davis Graveyard. They're going to be familiar with Craig's work, but one thing they do and they may not be that familiar with is Melissa. So we had an interesting encounter with Melissa at MHC.
Which we won't go into details about.
No. Melissa, I have to say, is a perfect example of what this community is all about and why the Facebook page has been successful and what's happened. Yes, I'm talking to you. Melissa, come to find out, was at Transworld this past year, as most of us, well, a lot of us were, I shouldn't say most of us, a lot of us were. And she enjoyed Transworld. She walked the halls all by her lonesome, didn't really know anybody. But in a matter of a few months from Transworld to MHC, she found the Facebook page, got involved, started talking to people, boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, she's at MHC, and she knows hundreds of people all around her.
She found Margaret.
There you go, the Pied Piper.
It's only because I danced sexy with her.
Yeah. We all enjoyed that.
Oh, you froze up on me. I missed the. Oh, everybody's laughter, and I missed it. Oh well. I'll tell you what. But no, Melissa's a perfect example of why we have this community and why we scratch our heads sometimes, going, "What the hell did we do to ourselves by starting this Facebook page?" And then we get introduced to people like Melissa and the countless other people that we've gotten to know, and that's just awesome. So
it is.
We thank you all for that too. But Melissa, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, what you've been up to, where you're from?
Okay, well, I'm in Frisco, Texas, which is north of Dallas. And what have I been up to? The same thing that everybody's been up to, building my haunt. And posting it all over Facebook as much as I can. We've expanded. So this is my third year doing the haunt. Past years, I was really novice, black plastic on the walls, that kind of thing. And this year, I'm really taking everything that I learned from Transworld and MHC and applying it and just, going all out. And we're expanded to 2 tents outside of our garage, including our garage. So we're a little over 700 square feet, and I'm building it all by my lonesome for the most part. My husband helps when he can, but for the most part, it's me.
True haunter right there.
Yeah.
Hence the
More
name
power tools.
Godzilla.
Hanzilla.
Godzilla.
That was so you know that show Bridezilla?
Yes.
I never watched it, but I saw commercials for it. And last year, working with my dad on the haunt, I guess I get tunnel vision, and he's asking me questions like, "What should I do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me finish this." And And he was like, "Oh my goodness, you're just like one of those women on that show, Bridezilla." Then coined the term Hauntzilla, and here I am.
Right. I think every, especially like, I mean, people are lucky to have like a couple that work on a haunt. That's like the most amazing thing, because I know myself, I just do it by myself, and like everybody's like, I want to help, okay, and then they're like, oh, what do you do about this? Well, don't talk to me right now, because like my mind's focused on this. I'll get to you in a minute. And they're like, well, you want help or not? And I'm like, oh, I just like, my mind just you just scramble, and you're like, you gotta finish what you're working on. You don't want your mind to way off somewhere else. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, I want you to help, but read my mind. Read my mind.
Yeah. That's exactly how it is.
You're doing it wrong.
Oh yeah. I have to.
But
Help is always is always welcome. It's the ideas that aren't.
Right.
I don't know if you can relate to that.
You should know when I'm thinking.
Yes, you've got the vision, and this is how you're wanting it, and then you've got the person that wants to come in and interject and go, you know what would be great? How about we throw some of those little plastic spider rings all over the tombstones?
No.
That would be perfect. You know what? You're exactly right. You do that, and then I'll throw them away after you.
Just do what I say. That's it. I don't want your ideas. I do, but no, I don't. No, maybe. Are they good?
Yep, so Melissa's another Texas haunter, so we hate her, so that's okay.
I'm not for the Texas haunter.
Why do you hate Texas haunters? What's up with that?
No. We're just teasing.
We're teasing. There's too many. We're jealous. We're jealous. Brad's not, though.
No,
Brad's not, because we hate the Canadian haunters too, because there's too many of them also. So it's the North and the South. We got a civil war going on, and we're all stuck in the middle.
Yeah. West Coast and East Coast are the best. North and South suck.
I'm just jealous of all the haunts you guys seem to have down there. That's all. You guys.
No, he's just jealous of the warm weather. That's all he's jealous
true.
of.
There's that.
Warm, freaking hot.
Yeah. You guys still have a lot of great professional haunts, for sure.
Yeah.
Texas loves haunts.
Yeah. Texas is awesome for it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and get a couple of the other guests here introduced and give them a chance to at least introduce themselves. Because, frankly, we also have to remember, even though a lot of us know each other and we've been talking for quite a while, there's a lot of people, and it always surprises me. The Facebook page is what's really generated that every time you turn around, there's somebody new, and they may ask a question that you think, oh my gosh, we've been doing that for years, but you got to think, gosh, there's everybody that's still new and they're still introducing it and coming into it.
Especially because by the end of tonight, we might have 16,000 members on the page.
Woo!
That's right. That's right.
Only about 30 short of that right now.
Is that right? Wow. Well, either that or we'll be closer to 15,000 by the time the show's over with. It's going to be one way or the other.
Depends how drunk we all get.
Yes, either way, we'll blame it on Craig. So Craig, now's your opportunity.
Blame it on Canada.
For gaming. No. We're going to talk to you. Well, Craig, why don't you tell everybody where you're from, a little bit about yourself and the history of where you've come from.
Not from the beginning.
Yes, not from the beginning. I forgot. You did that to us last time. I forgot.
Yeah. Not the conception part. Just
we don't need sports scores and 7 years ago.
Still you, Craig. That's who we're talking
about. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord. I didn't hear you. So I thought we were still talking to...
The members are dropping off faster than we can count.
I'm just bringing it back down to a respectable 2,000. That's manageable.
That is manageable.
That is manageable, yes.
Yeah, get more than 500 followers, and then shit hits the fan and your life's gone, and it's just constantly keeping the internet happy. That's why I try to be a dick online.
You do a pretty good job too.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of work, but someone's got to do it. The internet doesn't have enough trolls, so that's a cross I will bear for the internet. So remind me what the question was, because we kind of.
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you?
Tell us about yourself.
It's all you, brother. It's all you.
I'm Devil's Chariot is the little thing under here. Will probably tell you right there. I've been haunting since 2007, but lurking longer than that. I think 2003 I started looking at haunt pages and trying to figure out how to get my family to do it with me. I've done 3 different haunts, Haunted Tiki Island, the Carnival of Risk, and Witches of Scabtree Hollow, which all fall under the Haunted Elizondo. That's what we just call it since we're on Elizondo Street. And that's it. Oh, we do a new theme every 3 years, but even I might be changing that to every 4 or 5 years because, you know, life gets complicated, and that's what's up with me right now.
And it needs to be said, it's been said in previous episodes, but it's, I mean, you're so the inventor of the cauldron creep, right? Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in case if anybody's wondering, the cauldron creep.
Yeah,
you're looking at the creep right now.
you are looking at the inventor of the cauldron creep.
One day he was stirring some soup and he just thought,
It's like,
No. One day I was
How
feeling
can I mechanize this?
the standard witch prop, and it was just like hitting the guy in the face, and I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this one arm stand still till I get this other arm figured out, and then that's how it happened. And then I was like, that looks fucking great. Right here, and that's the key to success. Knowing when to stop right.
Well, you'll be happy to know, just today alone, that I can count of, there were 2 different people looking for cauldron creep information. What motors? What's the dimensions? What's this? So I mean, it just keeps on going and going and going. And we can thank Craig. He worked diligently on putting together a very detailed plan. So if there is something that you're looking for on it, go to his blog, which is, Craig?
devilschariot.blogspot.com.
There you go. And he's got a complete detailed list all the way down to every dimension, product, everything that you possibly need to make that cauldron creep. So we thank you for that. That's pretty awesome that you put that together. And what?
That's all we have done. That's the level of anal retentive obsessive detail I'm going to put into that thing. Right back behind my head. It's on the other side. You can't see it. Those posable skeletons that you get at Costco or Walgreens or whatever.
Yep.
Revolutionized cauldron creep making. So I got to update cauldron creep to fit those skeletons, which I will do.
Oh,
all right.
Oh yeah, because they're not just loose joints now. So I guess you do have to make some
just an adjustment for measurements, to make your frame or whatever. But
yeah,
I'm gonna add that and how to make costumes and all that. But I'm just trying to cram in that cauldron creep how-to because I said I would, and Halloween's coming, and it's probably too late to build one, but I said I'd do it, so I feel like I should honor that.
Oh, I don't think it's too late. You've got a lot of people out there right now trying to build one frantically. So, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, good luck.
There's the dick of the internet coming out right now.
I told you. I tried to tell you up front.
Before the show's over with, he will change his name at the bottom again. He'll have another AKA. So
every community needs its troll.
Well, Craig, I appreciate it. We'll be back to you. Please interject if you'd like. But we're going to move on over to Jeff and Chris Davis of the Davis Graveyard.
Haunt royalty.
Haunt royalty.
They are nice.
Hi, everybody.
If there's anybody that you should know, it should be Jeff and Chris Davis. So if you are new to this whole scene and you've been trying to check everything out, start there, especially if you're wanting tombstones.
Got a few of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
About 80 in the yard right now.
We're kind of a one-trick
nice.
pony. It's all about cemeteries with us.
Whenever they come to Facade, that's the first people they go to. They're like, oh shit, Davis Gray right there. You know, go look
Haunt
at that.
101.
Haunt 101. That's it.
But also,
Well-
Haunt 4.7 graduate class also.
That's
Yeah, yeah. Well, for the people that may not be that familiar with you guys, if you could introduce yourselves, tell us everybody where you're from and how long you've been doing this and all that fun stuff.
I got started.
I'm Jeff.
Chris?
Chris. How long we been doing this?
Well, we started doing this over about 30 years ago in California.
Yeah. Originally we had some
Wow.
friends that had a house,
Yeah.
garage hunt that we helped them out with for 3 or 4 years. Then we moved up to, we're in Milwaukee, Oregon, just outside of Portland in the Northwest. We bought this house 25 years ago.
Right.
It's got a brick and wrought iron fence out front, some real old trees. So we thought, hey, let's make a really cool cemetery out here. But Chris just started doing like pumpkins and a few store-bought tombstones and just your typical yard decorations, and I wasn't involved at all.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with it until one day I had him make a, what was he made? Flying Crankos.
Flying Crankos.
And then put that, that's got to be 15 years now at least
Or
that
longer,
happened.
maybe.
Or longer. He put that up in the shop and people started to come see that. And then all of a sudden now he wanted to help.
I needed a site for the Flying Crankos online. I figured out how to make it, and then after I made it and everybody liked it, I said, well, is there more stuff on the internet I can find? Yeah, it was kind of the beginning of the end. And when we couldn't find stuff, you know, one of the most popular sites that was really useful to us was Terror Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
His stuff is really, really cool. He was doing Monster Mud back, 15 years ago, and doing some really cool stuff. We bought his books.
I asked for them for Christmas. So
Yeah.
what kind? That's my Christmas present.
Bought a couple of. I think I still have the VHS tapes that we bought.
Yes,
from
I do.
And that's how we learned how to do some of the Monster Mud stuff. And then I think the next big thing that kind of ramped us up was going to HauntCon and
Meeting Bad Boys Scenic Design.
meeting the Bad Boys, and they were doing
Mike
a
Crawford and those guys.
seminar on foam texture. And that's what kind of turned us into the facade making business and all the detailed foam carving stuff that we do. And then it was just trial and error after that.
Then we just keep building bigger. I don't know how many get bigger than the Abbey, but we'll think of something.
Yeah, after all this time, you would think that maybe anybody in my family would realize I want something haunt related for Christmas, but I just keep getting them damn pants and socks. I'm like, I don't want no pants, man.
You always get hot stuff.
Something.
Odd stuff from the strangest sources sometimes.
Yes.
A present and there's a big salt and pepper shaker skull or something.
You're like, ooh, I like my pants.
I had to buy my own, damn it.
Yeah, they finally get it.
Yeah, it took a long time to train them.
You gotta train all those non-haunters on what
You do.
it means to be a haunter.
Every 15 years we finally believe you're actually really into this. Oh, it's just a phase. You'll get out of it eventually.
You know when you've really got them is when they're starting to buy the Christmas gifts for you guys now, because that's when all the Halloween stuff's out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden comes Christmas, it pops up, and you're like, you actually were thinking of me. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't get that at all.
Yeah, the whole excuse stuff, you can't find that stuff at Christmas time is no.
My
You weren't
6-year-old
thinking of
came
this.
to me- My 6-year-old came to me just the other day with this magazine. She goes, Mom, I found the perfect Christmas gift for you. And opens up, and it's these skulls, like the see no evil, heal no evil.
Yeah.
No evil thing. She's like, this is for you. I'm going to get this for you. She was so excited.
That's
Starting
awesome.
up.
Yes.
Wow, I can't believe we said the C word multiple.
I know, that's like a
Now
forbidden.
stop saying that. Stores are
We are losing members left and right now, aren't
We're actually down to negative members right now.
It just happened. It just happened.
Alan Hobbs just chimed in saying that Jeff and Chris make the coolest cemetery stuff. I'm in love with their work.
Absolutely.
We love Alan.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Speaking of more Texas there, but if I recall, I remember seeing a picture of you, Jeff, and Chris together with a whole crew and just a ridiculous number of stones and everything that was headed to Texas. Correct?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you allowed to say where that went or what that was for, or give us any insight on that?
Actually, it was for a home hunter in Lubbock, Texas.
No way.
Oh my
He
God.
called me up. He's a home hunter, but he lives in a giant mansion. And he called me or sent an email saying, what would it take to buy a few of your props or have you make them? And I said, well, we don't really do that. It would be really expensive because they're all one-offs. And I threw out a number, and he said, how many can I get? So then I talked with Chris and our crew, and I said, okay, well, you guys want to build a bunch of props this summer? So we built, I don't know how many.
Almost the graveyard minus the big.
All our monuments and about a dozen or so tombstones. And
We redid that Weeping Angel, which is a royal pain in the ass to make, by the way.
we carved the wings.
That is just, when people ask me that, and I'm like, I'm
I
not.
mean, we make this stuff, it's all one-offs.
Right.
So we make it as
Yeah.
we go, and you might spend
Yeah.
all summer kind of working on the weekends. And if you've got one already made, and you're looking at it going, how did I build that base again?
Yeah.
What's
Well-
size supposed to be?
Well, and the problem is too is if you've built it once, there's always things that you look at. If you were to do it again, I would do that a little bit different, or I would have went this much further with it, and you never expecting to ever have to do that, and then when you go to do it a second time, you're like, oh man, now I've got to do it better than the first time. I already learned from my mistakes. I've got to do this, and the next thing you know, it's become this massive project in
Right.
itself.
Hey, the next thing you know, you're giving them your old one. You're like, that one.
We thought about that. Oh, man. New one,
Yeah, I wanted to give them all the old props and keep the new ones. Trust me, it was really hard not to do that.
Oh, I bet.
building new stuff, so I'd feel bad if I did that. And then we ended up driving it down to him in a truck, so we were able to
Oh,
pack
wow.
it the way we wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. That was something else. I can't believe that went to a home hunter on top of it all.
Yeah.
I know.
And I asked around in Texas, nobody had heard of him, and nobody. I don't think he's ever been to any of the con conventions either.
Huh.
So it's just he said he had a 3-acre lot that he was trying to cover in Halloween decorations.
Wow.
Well, we don't.
That's not going to be enough decorations
No.
anymore.
That's why he liked all the big stuff we had.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll have to
trip.
We'll have to do a search on the Facebook page for that picture and maybe make a comment and bring it back to the top so other people can see what we're talking about, because that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a nice picture of the crew, all the people that work
Yeah.
with us throughout the summer.
Yeah. And another thing that you guys posted on there was the recent video that was taken by.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was just totally out of the blue. We set up last weekend, and I don't know, a few days before we set up, a guy from the news, it's a local newspaper company, so they own a couple of the newspapers in town. He said, we're thinking about doing this online video of kind of like getting to
Behind
know
the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. And I said, well, we happen to be setting up. Why don't you bring the camera guy down? So he came down and filmed all day long while we set up, and then I think the next morning before we even got up and got started again, he came in with a drone and flew all through the graveyard, and then all that sky footage and all the aerial stuff was from his drone.
Yeah.
He slapped it together, and Monday it was ready?
And Jeff's always wanted a drone, and I've said no, and I've completely changed my mind now.
Yeah. I don't know if I want one. This guy just lives down the street from us. I might just borrow it from him.
I gotta see if my wife will watch the drone and see if she'll like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Yeah, that video was very awesome. And the best thing is it gave you a real feel for the yard that you have and the
Yeah.
setup and the way it's done. So
Really hard to capture that. It did a good job. I really
yeah.
appreciate it.
I'd seen the display many times, but never gotten a real sense of the property before.
Yeah.
Until I saw that video, and it was really impressive.
Mhm.
Very impressive.
Glad we were able to post that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Thanks.
So speaking of footage and cameras and stuff like that, a YouTube user called Slam said, since everyone is so crazy building, whether haunted houses are going on, does anyone hire a photographer or videographer to document what's going on, or do you rely on drunk friends?
Both.
Drunk fans never work out very
Yeah,
well.
we've not had good.
We need blurry photos.
I actually had a drunk friend do it one time, and I never saw him again. I mean, not even as a friend. I was like, you know, and he was like kind of related a little bit, and he's got like the whole big camera and the whole shabammy, and he's going through it, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have some good footage, you know, and I just never saw him again. I'm like,
I remember you talking about that because you kept going, man, that guy, I keep trying to get a hold of him. I got all that footage and I can't get anything.
right, he's gone.
Been there, done that.
Hey, Craig, do you shoot all your own photos?
I do.
Yeah,
That
you
was
got
all
some great
really-
pictures.
Till like 2 or 3 in the morning every Halloween. Well, I guess it's November 1st, and shoot the whole haunt.
Oh, cool. You always love seeing your videos.
Yeah, and you get some pretty good stills you usually post every year. They look really
Yeah, I use the tripod and the auto timer, and sometimes I fall asleep during the long exposures. But then the whirring of a motor or the talking skeleton routine starts up, and I wake up.
So is that
We're only up 2 nights a year, so that's, you know, as soon as the trick-or-treaters leave, I'm taking pictures.
Good.
Man,
Is
that's
that
that's a lot of work for two nights a year. I mean, if you guys can go look at Craig's stuff, it's like amazing. I mean, he's got like the work that he does, like, and definitely like every one of them are amazing. All the props that they make, and they're like did it in the whole hunt season. I'm like, how in the hell did you do that? It was like, you must have like a lot of people.
No. Full-time hobby, and sometimes that interferes with my job. But, you know, that's the thing. But, you know, we're trying to stay under the radar with our hunt. Like, everyone in the neighborhood knows about it, so we get 800 to 1,200 trick-or-treaters every year.
Yeah, that's under the
I got
radar.
the little carnival clicker, and, like, I had carpal tunnel by 800 last year. I know it just people left and right. But we're only up 2 nights, so we're trying to not get attention from unwanted people.
Oh, yeah.
We had a church come and protest our haunt in 2010, which was kind of weird. And we were like, this is funny. It's like a funny story to tell other people, but it's not really cool to get this kind of attention. So we
Oh, yeah. And
under
what
the
kind
radar, you know.
What theme was it in 2010?
Carnival, that was first year.
That was the first year for the carnival, huh?
Was that the year that Halloween was on a Sunday? Because we got some grief for that too from somebody.
Because it was on
Wanted us to
Sunday?
shut the haunt down because it was on Sunday.
Okay. Jesus.
That's
remember.
I told them if they wanted to stand up and tell everybody to go away, we would do it.
Page, so I looked it up because you know I was like trying to find a church around there that said something about Halloween, and then I was going to figure it out. Then I found them on YouTube because I took a picture of one of their protest signs, and there's a URL on it. So I went to the URL and I found his YouTube page. Basically, this guy and his wife goes to fun events like Las Vegas, monster truck shows, haunted houses in people's front yards, great hunts, and tries to tell people they're going to hell for having fun. And they have this guillotine that I can't remember what it says, but they drag it around with them, and it's not even a Bible verse. It's like some kind of, it's like from Dante's Inferno or something, and it's trying to convince everyone that if you're having fun, you must be sinning. Why don't you let us ruin your day and buy one of our CDs? Because they also make Christian music. And so.
Oh man! So you really got it bad.
But only 1 year, huh? They came and went.
Yeah,
Huh?
we were kind of hoping they'd come back this year because we were going to be on that TV show, but then we're not on that TV show now, so I hope they don't come back.
They're gonna protest. Hey, they're gonna protest and say, "And buy our Christian CD."
Hey,
How
that's
dare
when
you
you
guys
run.
burn witches? That's so wrong. My
Craig?
face is melting. I don't know what to do.
That's when you run out with the severed head that you've made, and you toss it out in front of the guillotine. That'll set them off.
Yeah, I'll come out with a little ketchup bottle of fake blood and be like, no. This needs a little more touch-up work.
Yes.
No, it's done. Perfect.
Here's a plan. Here's plans for a real guillotine. Here you go. Here's what you can do.
That's awesome.
You should just
Well,
join,
Melissa,
I'll
just
print out
join
a little
the protest.
how-to Be like, actually, Stilt Beast made this in, I think, 2010, but it's still relevant to what you're doing. Check it out. He's got a YouTube channel, all kinds of great videos. You might like it.
Melissa, you've been awfully quiet.
No, sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude and interrupt.
Oh no, you gotta interrupt. You just gotta jump right in and interrupt.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep drinking and listening until I can jump in. By the way,
Wow, she'll be on the floor by then.
Werewolf.
Well, Melissa, what did you, if I recall earlier on, kind of introducing the haunt for this year, or at least advertising it, didn't you have some vandals or something come up and hit you?
Yes.
Not literally, but I mean.
Yeah, the punk kids. We decided to set out our sign that we had made. Well, we didn't make it, actually. Tombstone Factory made it. And we put it out there on September 1st, kind of letting everybody know Terror on the Hill's coming and, you know, get them all excited about it. And the 2 days after we put it out there, we get up, it's like a Saturday morning, I walk out to the living room and look out the window, and it's laying face down. I'm like, what the heck? I walk out there and see the kids with like a baseball bat or a pipe or something were beating on it to the point that they bent the rebar.
Wow.
It was like sticking the ground with rebar. They had bent the rebar trying to knock this thing over, and there was some damage, and I had to go back to the guys at Tombstone Factory to get paint and fix it all up, but everything's good. And we have cameras, and so we've got the cameras pointed at the sign as well as Azrael. And I've got signs posted up everywhere saying that there's cameras on the property and we haven't had any issues with them. So, yeah, it was no fun.
And we're getting serious feedback. Craig
I think
and
it's
Brad, stop chatting on the side.
Dude.
I'm fielding questions. Some of them are from Craig.
Okay.
Oh, so it is you. You are totally
I
busted.
knew it. It was them two. You know, my eyes are on you. I see you.
I got a question for Melissa. How did you make the wings happen for that?
Oh my gosh, so many people have asked me that. Okay, so the wings on Azrael, I bought the wings from a costume company. They're real feather wings. And what I had done is took them, reinforced them, and sprayed the feathers down with clear coat to stiffen the feathers. And then I meticulously, one by one, painted a little bit of monster mud on each and every feather. And then rigged this contraption to put it up on Azrael. However, they fell apart. And I actually have video. I haven't edited it yet. I'm going to put it up. But, yeah, the wings completely fell apart. And I was a absolute mess. I think you guys probably saw me post on Facebook that, you know, that I was on the verge of tears. I was holding back tears or something like that. I was doing emergency reconstructive surgery. That was on Azrael's wings. I had to go back. What had happened was the costume company obviously want the wings to be light. So they used a plastic poster board and hot glued the feathers to it. Well, the weight, yeah, the weight in the Texas heat was softened through. It pulled it apart. So I had to pull all of the feathers off, cut plywood, glue all of the feathers back.
jeez.
And, yeah, that was like a 2-day reconstructive surgery job. And
holy cow.
So wait a second. Texas melts hot glue?
when it's like 101 degrees outside, yes.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, then fixed, everything good. We had a storm come through actually, and I ran out there as it's starting to rain, grabbed the wings off of him, pulled them inside, and then the storm came and he fell over, but he's fine. The wings.
Oh, so at least
so
the
you got
wings
the
are still
wings. At least the
detachable.
wings are still intact.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saved the wings.
That was a total Hanzilla moment, I'm sure.
Oh, I've had several. Totally. I've had to work on him more than the haunt itself. I've actually had neighbors walking by with their dogs and stuff, hearing me absolutely cursing him. You fucking son of a bitch! Why are you doing this to me? I'm screaming at him.
Yelling at the haunt gods.
I actually had somebody ask me about the cross on him, that because I'm having so many problems with him, is it because of the cross? I'm like, what? What?
Oh, God. Here we go again.
It's a whole theme. Now, you said this is your third year?
Yes, this is my third year.
And did you start out with a walkthrough or just a yard display?
Well, technically, so 4 years ago, my husband had to go to Vegas for the SEMA APIC show, and I said I was going to decorate the front of the house and everything, and he was totally against it, but he wasn't here to stop me, so I did it anyway. And I put black plastic up and had severed heads and whatnot hanging off the porch, and I made a PVC pipe werewolf, and everybody liked it. Everybody thought it was really cool. And then the next year I moved it to the garage, and it just kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and here I am now with 2 big old tents.
That's pretty good for your first year to build like a PVC prop. Like usually most people's first year is, just putting some store-bought decorations out.
Oh, I had some store-bought. I had some tombstones that were store-bought up in the front yard, and some spider webs on the bushes. But I always want to do something different. Like everybody in my neighborhood has the little cute things, or they have the spider web things, and I wanted to do something different. So I went to Spirit and bought a werewolf costume and made a prop with him. There's pictures of him on my Facebook page. But yeah, lots of fun. I think outside the box, I guess. I challenge myself all the time.
Julie Rydell wants to know, Melissa, how big is your haunt and how many people help you make props?
So this year the haunt is 705 square feet. It takes up my 3-car garage and 2 10-by-15 tents. And I'm building 95% of it.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Mary Fentner wants to know, are Melissa and James planning on going pro?
I would love to go pro. That's my dream. That's why I, went to Transworld and MHC and plan on going and Scare LA and plan on going to all these different conventions because I'm learning as much as I can to go pro. That's my dream. So yeah.
So have you, in the 3 years, and of course, this being really the true first year that we've gotten to know you and have seen a lot of your posts and whatnot, and we've seen your husband a lot more involved, or at least he seems to be quite involved this year. Have you started to slowly win him over then, or are you pulling him in, are you dragging him in and putting him to work? This
is the first year that he's actually into it. He's been pretty much totally against it, and would get sick and tired of me talking about it all the time. He's like, oh my God, really? You're going to talk about
join the club. Join the club.
I can't relate to that.
He was never here for Halloween. He was always in Vegas, so he never, I would talk about it, but he didn't really experience any of it until last year. It was the first year they experienced it. And he was like, oh, wow, this was kind of cool. And the more excited I got and the more conventions I went to, the more he got into it. So, yeah, I'm slowly but surely winning him over. He's actually getting excited for the first time.
Right. So basically it's like, make mama happy, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Don't you know, it's happy wife, happy life. Live life.
Jeff's over there just grinning and shaking his head like, See, Jeff, there's another one it's happening as we speak.
Jeff can help your husband if you'd like. He's got some tips and tricks.
Yeah. I don't know. See, I spent
Can't beat him, just join it. That's what I say.
Before I started doing all
this. From Rayanne Chavez, feedback. Is that
yeah.
where's that coming from? question: what did Melissa use to build the mausoleum wall? Foam, wood. It looks so awesome.
The mausoleum wall. Oh, okay. So that's foam, and the plaques are foam, and the trim around the plaques, that's wood. Just little decorative wood things that I got at like Michael's. The letters are those. If you at Michael's, the foam sticky letters that in the kids section. The multicolored ones. That's what that is, and I just. A lot of glue and a lot of metallic paint. I did a copper paint and a turquoise, a metallic turquoise. So it's a patina, give that patina look to it. And so yeah, it's all foam.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've never been so jealous not to be killed. Thank you very much.
Oh, and you know what? I had some.
Oh, Jim didn't make the cut.
I didn't make the cut.
And I was going to contact you, but somebody else kind of like, I don't know if she knew or whatever, but she just kind of sent me a private message saying, here's my name and here's my birth date and death date. I hope I get chosen. And I was like, wow, she came in so fast. I didn't even have a chance to contact you.
No, that's quite all right. That was funny. That was fun. No, that was an awesome way to do that.
Sorry about that.
I went to Melissa's site and music app.
That's actually under construction right now. We have a new site that should be launched by the end of the week.
It's a very attractive picture you have on the main screen there.
That's not your audience you're going for. Very well done.
Thank you. That's my character. It's Crazy Daisy.
Awesome.
Now we're all going to be like, oh,
We're going there right now.
Everybody's
running now. Yeah, you gotta go
hey,
see.
Brad, to help us out, go there and then do a screen share so we all can see it. That way we all don't have to go there.
Give me 1 second here.
I was looking for pictures.
So, okay, 1 second here.
Yeah, just in case you all don't,
in case you don't know why he's panning like from side to side, his monitor's like a 40-inch TV.
Oh, that picture. Oh, there we go.
Well, now I'm just going to be panning at this picture all night. That's what I'm No more questions are necessary, everybody.
That's right.
That's you know Jeff felt too when he saw that.
Actually, can I wait a minute? That was actually a better pic. Like I said, that's the old website that we were starting out with. We actually have a new one.
Okay, tell me the address and I'll punch it in right here.
I'm bringing it up as we speak. 1 second. You guys talk amongst yourselves because my computer wants to go slow.
Well, just in case any of you all didn't see or are unfamiliar with what we were talking about with the mausoleum, Melissa, she did a cool thing. She just put a post out there on Facebook. It said the first I can't remember 10 people that reply that want to be killed. That she's going in the mausoleum. So that was great. So the next thing you know, the mausoleum she posted up, and she's got all these, the tombs all in for the mausoleum. And again, the first 10 people that had replied, that's whose names went up on the mausoleum.
Great.
Probably much easier than trying to just come up with names. When you're forced to come up with names, and I'm sure Chris and Jeff have probably struggled with that with all the tombstones you've done. You're like, oh my God, who are we going to put on this now, or what are we going to do?
Our crypt wall has all the crew's names on them.
Oh, it's
so when they die, we're burying them in the crypt. Yeah.
Nice.
They already have
nice.
It's just our last names. It's a family crypt.
Oh, there you go.
All their relatives can get buried there too.
Craig, what are you doing?
I don't know.
He's waiting. Jim. Hey, he's waiting for Jim.
I know. He was so worried because we did not have structure, and this is what we get.
No, that's why he wanted.
Craig.
That's why he wanted the structure, because you're slack.
Hey, I just muted my microphone so you wouldn't get any feedback, but I hear that you still have feedback.
Still feedback. You guys all blame Craig, and it wasn't him.
No, it wasn't Craig.
I blame him too.
Hollers, hang on with you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a new page.
What sounds like over here?
There's the new page.
There's the
I like that logo.
Thank you.
It's a cool logo.
Nice.
About the contest, it's actually kind of funny about the contest. I was listening to the Toadies.
Music. Kill your music, whoever's doing that.
Do I have it up?
I don't know.
Hear it?
It's Melissa giving us all the feedback. Like I said originally, she's killing us.
Stop shamelessly self-promoting. Like, here's my music.
I didn't realize I had it up. I clicked on the link by accident. So anyway, I was listening to the Toadies, and that's what I was like. Oh, and that's when I posted. Do you want to die?
No, I'm thinking you need a headset.
Oh, look, I can show pictures here, Jose. Look, you can take the night off. I can show pictures from our website here.
Oh, dude, that'd be so awesome. It's your job.
Got it right here.
See how quick that worked?
Yep. Dude, done deal.
There you go. It looks cool. Like the site.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look, she's even got an HH logo on her site. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah.
Wow.
Did she get permission from us to use that?
I don't think so. I mean,
That's my Facebook feed.
Something we can talk about later with the.
Yeah. If I recall, I think that's like what, a $200 a minute charge. So if you put that back up, let's clip that away a little bit more.
No, it's $200 for every minute that you've had it on there retroactively.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
Thank you for clarifying.
We're up to about
I believe the
$2,000.
legal default in U.S. is $4,000 per copyright violation.
Oh, indeed. That was my Instagram feed, and I was promoting the show. I was given permission. I was given permission by you guys to promote the show. So
now she's gonna slap down. Don't make Contzilla come out tonight. We've already got one. We've already got Cranium Craig here. We don't need Contzilla.
Shit, she knows her right.
The paralegal in the paralegal voice out.
The promotion is much appreciated. Thank you.
I take the legal safe road. I don't promote shit. Sorry, guys.
Which is why
you already clarified that you stay under the radar, so that's okay.
I'm under the radar. Halloween troll.
Halloween troll. Craig, why don't you tell us about some of the props you've been making this year? You've had some pretty interesting skulls we've seen, and some direction that you're taking.
I made one interesting thing this year.
No, you haven't.
And a bunch of sets that are driving me nuts. Are we going to share those pictures that I sent you, or what's going on now?
Yeah, it's back.
I thought Brad was going to do it.
Brad!
No, I'm not
that
doing
was
it.
really fast. I didn't even get to see it.
Yeah, you gotta force yourself full screen there, Diablo. There you go.
It's up. It's been up. Well, you need to get out of your whatever you're doing.
Here, I'll do it. I'll do it.
There we go. We'll get Craig to do it.
Oh, cool.
No, I'm not really.
I don't see it though.
Come on. Come on,
Craig,
you Canadians.
Hey, Craig, Jose's already got he's got your skull up. Why don't you tell us a little bit of background on this thing and what the inspiration and what you're doing?
Yeah.
Make it big.
Okay, so
it's big to everybody else.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what you said.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Hey, Melissa, just click on Jose down below, and if you click on him, that will force that on the large for the screen so you can see it.
Right on. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Stay focused. Stay focused, people. Stay focused.
I'm going to share the sketch that goes with this.
Okay.
So last year, I made a prop. I made the Watcher, the skull with no face, that had the little runs
yes,
or
you did.
pentagram or whatever on his face.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspired me to make a whole race of these abominations, like the punishment or the mark of their master, like they had the name on their face, and then I made this guy who had horns coming out of his eyes and all over his face, which I called Mr. Horny Bones because I couldn't come up with a cool name for him.
You could have just called him John Holmes or something. I don't know.
My wife dubbed this one as Mr. Boner Nose. So basically, these are the abominations that the witches in my haunt create. And this guy's going to go on, we're going to have like this cross, like a burnt at the witches type cross, not the Jesus cross, but just the T.
Yeah, by
And,
lopping the top off, you're not being offensive.
Yeah. That's all pushing the limits. We're pushing the limits because.
Don't want him to roll the
That's
guillotine
what
around.
Internet Troll does. We push the limits, and we push your buttons. So we cut the top off a cross, because that's extra sacrilegious. That's where Jesus' head would be. And then we put Mr. Horny Boner Nose on that cross, because it's going to be him, and then 2 witches.
By the way, I'm a little hurt that you're using my pet name for you on your prop there.
Well, his name is a good name. You can't beat that. So let me see if okay, and then I'll screen share again, just because these are the. So you see the trees here, but these are the faces of the 2 witches that'll be burnt next to Mr. Boner Nose. So there'll be 2 people burnt at the stake next to this cross, kind of recreating the 3 crosses that you see from the crucifixion all the time, because that kind of freaks people out when they see something they recognize with something new and horrifying.
I was saying to Craig that those are those Costco skeleton heads, which I normally I can't stand. I don't like the shape of them, but when he dresses them up like that, it creates such an interesting character. The unusual shape of the skull creates an unusual character, which really works, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's a skull from the Bag of Bones kit that is totally retarded. But I will show you something awesome you can do with a retarded skull if I can find it real quick. Listen to me say is not very exciting. So let me talk about these trees real quick. So on the left, you can see that there's a big stump made out of paper mache, and right behind it is a fountain. That fountain is made out of concrete, and it's a pain in the ass to move. And we took it apart one time and didn't really go back together the same way. We made this paper mache tree to go over it, because this is all the best props are in the covered area, and this area is covered at Halloween. So we're always tired of having this fountain, which we put black fabric over. Or we put Dee Dee Dimples, the big fat lady eating sausages in a carnival of risk, next to the butcher guy.
Oh, am I looking at a different picture?
Oh yeah, let me stop sharing that screen.
I was looking at the tree, and then you started talking about fat lady dimples, so I had to.
Okay, no,
here we were.
This is so that used to be the cover for the fountain. It was a big fat lady.
So she's over the top of the fountain, huh?
Yeah, we built her right over the fountain, so she covered it up.
I could have saved you time. I could have just come and sat on it for you.
I didn't want to pay airfare. So.
Oh, now we get Facebook.
Oh, what? I'm not sharing anymore. Yeah, so we made a paper mache tree to cover up that fountain, and you can't see during daylight, but we put red fluorescent compact bulbs in it and aluminum foil, so it looks like it's a burning stump. Because the tree you're supposed to be inside of was hit by lightning, so we have smoke in there and orange lights, and it's supposed to look like it's kind of burnt, and that's where the witches live, inside the scab tree at Scab Tree Hollow. Then the one that was on the right, if Brad could show that picture again.
Oh, me? What? I was just...
That's Java. I'm looking at you.
It's Java.
You ready for him now? See,
I'm just monitoring the non-existent questions.
See?
Ask questions, everybody. Give me an excuse not to pull up pictures.
See, it's not going to let me now, because you messed up.
Oh, baby.
Wow, wow, wow.
Well, just describe it vividly.
This is the unpainted version of the other tree, which is it's holding candles. There's little hands that come out of the limbs that are holding candles, and that was the other tree that you saw in the first picture that Brad put up. And it has candles inside, and it's supposed to look like it's burnt and kind of creepy or whatever. So that was the other half of that picture that Brad showed you of our paper mache trees, which we've kind of made a lot of this year. I think we have like 10 now in our home.
So do you just sculpt that up with paper mache only, or is it over a form, or like? I mean, you see, you've got sonotubes.
See if I can find the delicious how-to pictures to share. Here we go. I'm prepared for tonight. I'm ready. So you can see in this picture, it's concrete form covered in great stuff.
Right.
And then there's PVC arms, which you can't see here, but they're bulked out with aluminum foil. And then to hold the candles, so we could take them out when we store it, and the arms also come off, are just a little, I think they're 2-inch, I think it's 2-inch PVC we use for the candles, so it's just 2-inch end caps. And those are attached to the tree, so then we just set the candle inside, and then we can take it all apart and change the batteries or whatever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That looks like it might be a storage nightmare later, but it's awesome.
No, the arms come off.
There's your picture.
Let me
Yeah.
see if I can find that sweet, sweet picture of how the arms come off. Because I did take pictures.
I would so love to find out that the file name of the picture is Sweet. Whatever. Not a JPEG.
Yeah.
No,
See,
it's
there
probably
you go.
delicious
Delicious,
arm.
yeah, delicious arm.
It's awesome sauce, Brad.
Stop it. No awesome sauce.
You just hit Brad's kryptonite.
Well,
Alan
you know what?
Hops wants to know, Craig, how you weatherproof your paper mache.
The
He's in California, so he doesn't have to, right?
material, well, it doesn't rain on Halloween very often, but sometimes it does. And we don't really, when we're building it, it just goes in the backyard, so it doesn't get covered. But our paper mache technique is we use blue shop towels soaked in exterior latex paint for your house, which is weatherproof for the most part. So if it rains, we just let it rain on it.
Yep.
And that's it. Because
Okay.
we don't, you know,
So
we're
the
not
whole
like,
thing-
we're not in the northeast coast or Canada where it rains all the time. So as long, you know, it can take a few rainy days and nothing happens.
So the entire thing is skinned out. When you just showed the bones of that with the great stuff, you'll skin the entire thing with the shop towels?
Yeah, the whole thing. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Here, this is terrible internet, I'm sure.
Do you dilute the paint with water, or are you just straight?
Not at all. We just dip it right in the can, squeeze it out, and slap it on.
Does not use up a ton of paint, like
Kind of, but we just get oops paint. Like that
just
tree
get
was
oops and then you paint over it.
pink before I painted it black, because that is the color of my father-in-law's step-granddaughter's bedroom, or whatever. And they bought a couple extra gallons, so, you know, good for us.
Well, and you know what? And with that tree being hollow, are you able to just stick the arms down inside the tree to store it? Or are they too large?
Well, I closed up the top because I wanted to set a bunch of candles right into the side
gotcha.
column. But otherwise, if you didn't do that, you could probably just throw the arms inside. Because we made 3 like burnt trees for Witches Burn at the Stake last year, and the arms are very short, and those are easy to kind of twist so that the arms don't hit each other and stack them up in the rafters. But these, there's no way you can make arms like this fit up there, so we just made them come off, and it works. I've taken them on and off a couple times, and because one of the things I'm trying to I clicked on Brad's app and I took a picture of myself.
My app.
He's getting ready to draw on himself again. I see him look
know.
out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either
That was
SWAT just showed up.
That was us drawing on each other. It wasn't anyone drawing on themselves.
America.
I'm so pretty. But yeah, one of the things that we consider whenever we build props, and it adds kind of some expense up front, but it's worth it later, is how much will it cost to store this? We don't have money to rent a storage unit, and we don't really have big property or anything like that. You know, all the houses in Southern California are kind of small, so we make everything to. We don't want to take it apart piece by piece, but we make it so that it all folds flat when it's done. So the tree, we made it so the arms come off. We can put it inside. The village we're building all turns into 4x8 or smaller and can be stacked 2 inches deep. And we don't have any weird stuff hanging off the edges because we can't store stuff like that. You know, even concrete.
What did you do with the merry-go-round? I mean, I always when you were building that, I'm like, I didn't even know it was you at first. I'm like, oh my god, that's like the most awesome thing I ever seen. And then I found out it was you. I'm like, where do you put it? Where does that go?
Which prop?
The merry-go-round.
The merry-go-round.
Oh. You know, if I could remember where to look for it online, I could show you a 3D drawing that shows you how it comes apart, but I don't remember where that is. But basically, it's the same thing. Everything has to fit into a 4x8 shape or smaller. So, you know, the middle part is 2 4x8s that are cut a little bit shorter, and then the sides are 4x8s. So that when you put 3, it's actually 6 4x8s together, it makes the bottom. Same with the top. And then same with the middle, so we can disassemble it, and it all stacks up to 4x8 or less.
So you're going to be using that again.
What's that?
You're going to be using that again, I hope, sometime in the future.
Oh no, we sold it. We sold it to some guy in Pasadena. Well, but we thought it was just for his private home hunt, and then we were at this. I forget their name now because I've been drinking. So basically, it's a little theater. It's like a community theater in South Pasadena, and we went to see their haunt. And we were standing in line, and my friend Russell was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! It's your haunt! It's your haunt! It's your haunt!" And I'm like, you know, these aren't not things you expect to say. I'm like, "Are you all right? What's going on?" You know, like I thought he was having a stroke or something. He's all, "It's your haunt! It's your haunt! It's your haunt! It's your haunt!" And we look, and all the the where you get drinks and sausages and candy. They're selling drinks and candy and tickets out of them. And then when you first walk into the haunt is our carousel and Electro Man and Fish Man and the Tiki Man.
Oh man,
the fat lady.
Them are amazing.
No, not the fat lady.
I always look at them. It's like them are like awesome props, dude. I was like, damn.
Well, it was surprising to see them all there, and then I was like, well, you didn't get that carousel back together, even though I spent like 4 hours making a 3D model for you. But, you know, whatever. I'm not to judge. But it was fun to see them that getting used again in a professional haunt or a fundraiser haunt, I guess you would call it, for the community theater. But it was fun. But yeah, I mean, we can't store it, and after 3 years, we were out of room because we have a tiny yard and we're out of ideas, so we're ready to move on to the next one.
I would have had a hard time getting rid of that, dude. I was like, they'd have to really have to throw some money at me.
We sold all of it for like $700, so that wasn't bad. We made back like our material cost. You know, not the labor, but that's the fun part. The labor is fun.
Yeah.
That's our fun.
It gives you an excuse to do something new. I mean, you got to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you've already decided that you're going to go, you know, your things aren't going to last so many years.
We were gonna like rent 2 dumpsters and just throw the whole thing away. And then this guy, my wife put it up on Craigslist, and we got people from like Texas and Washington saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring a trailer down there and buy it." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen. You're not going to bring a trailer down here. Your wife's going to hear that and she's going to say, no, you're not buying a trailer. You're not going to sell it." This guy in South Pasadena is like, if I send a truck on Saturday, can I have it for $600? I'm like, $700 and you get these props. And he's like, deal. I'm like, awesome. Now we don't have to pay to throw it away.
That's awesome.
That's what we did with Haunted Tiki Island, and there's pictures on my Flickr page. We just cut that up with a Sawzall and threw it in a trash can.
Wow.
God.
It's, you know what? Especially in Southern California with property prices and rental storage prices, it's cheaper to rebuild a haunt every year than it is to store it.
Yeah. That's why I would hate people there, because it's like if you live here, I'd be like, I need like 4 trucks. Come now, or I'm gonna kill you. I'm coming to get it.
Since we were talking about photography before, Craig.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm off.
Other people Mike can answer this as well. Chris Ainsworth wants to know what kind of camera gear people use to take all their killer photos with.
Davis Graveyard.
We have a professional photographer, and we don't know what camera she uses. Something nice.
Something nice and big. It's got lenses on it.
Looks pretty.
Attachments and a bunch of
She
tripods.
has a bunch of lights she sets up on the props.
She's got a big bag she
She
carries
takes
with
with
her.
her.
And sometimes it's hard to get her to give us the photos. She wants to edit and touch them up, and sometime like 3 months later we get the photos from her.
Anything
I
else?
was ask Brad next, but
well,
I
this
know what
is-
Brad does.
Pardon me?
Brad, what do you do?
I do the same thing. I get friends to come do it, but it's usually the Canon 5D to do the video stuff because it's got a really nice look. It looks like film.
This is my first year promoting anything having to do with my haunt, so I just rely on my phone. But I hope to get something. Hopefully have somebody lined up that will take some video and pictures of this year's stuff.
Yeah, that's the far more important aspect than what camera it is that you don't remain responsible for it. You let someone else do it, and then because it's impossible to do both.
I disagree, Brad.
Well, you're shooting your photos afterwards, right? But I'm thinking more of the video footage of during the thing.
Oh no, I suck
During
at
it.
video.
Yeah.
I suck at video.
No, I totally. There's so many times that I'm like so involved in the haunt, and everything's going up, and it's like showtime, and you're running around in the airline bus, and you got all these couplings in your hand, and you're like, fixing this and that. Like the farthest thing from my mind is videoing at that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even care about it at that time. The only time I care about it is like when it comes to YouTube and Facebook. Then it's like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Damn it, I should have done it. It's like at the time you're just so busy trying to get that first group of people through, and once that starts, I forget all about any type of videoing or anything. Just that first scare, I'm geeked, and I'm like, I don't even think about it. Then once I do, it's too late,
Well, there's nothing worse than taking the time and taking all those pictures and everything, and then you get in and get on the computer and you're looking at them going, well, every one of these just fucking suck.
Yeah, they're all black.
These are the worst pictures ever.
Black. They don't come
Yeah,
out.
or they're washed out. I forgot who can't remember who posted that talking about, but one of the things is never use a flash.
Yeah.
The flash ruins everything.
Yeah.
Never use a flash. I can't remember who made that post just recently. It was a great article.
I'll agree with that.
One of our
Let me
friends wrote an article for
Photo
that.
rundown, if you will indulge me. So basically, I use a DLSR, a Canon Rebel, and I use a tripod, and I set the ISO to 3200, which is the highest. Maybe your camera, newer ones, are faster than 3200. And I don't use a flash. I just use everything is lit with the LED spotlights I made for my haunt. And the exposures are like 16 seconds to 32 or 64 seconds. And I shoot them if you have a 35 millimeter digital SLR, shoot them at f11. That's important. That's going to give you the best sharpness.
Oh, good to know.
Not everything
I got
sharp.
that one.
The best sharpness.
So what?
I do exactly the same thing, actually.
And the most important thing, two most important things, bracket your shots, which means if you know how to use exposure compensation, make it one stop up, one stop down, and a normal exposure, and then set your capture mode to RAW, because RAW, it makes a giant file that you can't put on the internet, but if you have Photoshop or Photoshop Elements or Lightroom or any photo editing program, it gives you so much more room to make a dark picture light, light picture dark. Get the saturation just right, because RAW gives you RAW is just like a robot going, I'm gonna give you everything more than you can use.
Okay, I need to take notes. Go back.
trim it down.
That's the good. That's the good
Email
thing.
it to me, Jaywalk.
Hey, that's the good
Well,
thing.
wait a minute.
You
You
can
can
always
just go back and watch it.
Yeah! Internet! Watch it on YouTube.
I'm on my third video.
Hunter's
and I
Hangout
still
on
have a
YouTube. Thursday nights at 7. Wherever you are, it's at 7.
I do the exact same thing, Ben. I also use the delay timer on it to start,
Yes.
in case my
Yes,
hand shakes
I have
the
a cable
tripod.
release. I use the delay if I can't find my cable release because I'm losing.
I don't have that, so I just set it so like the 10-second delay, you know, so you can run around and get in the screen. But I just do it so that my hand doesn't shake the camera. So while it's doing this long exposure, it's
What
solid,
Brad
rock
said.
solid.
Yeah, use the delay because pushing that button will make your camera and tripod shake, and that's gonna run it.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
run
what
it.
is-
It's just gonna make
Craig,
it just
what
not
is-
good enough that you're gonna be like, damn it.
Yeah.
Now, Craig, I understood everything that you said, except for, and it's just because I don't know what were you referring to when you said set it to f11? What was that?
The aperture.
Yeah,
that was the
so if
aperture
you're
you're talking
familiar
about.
with
Okay.
with the DLSR, which is a camera that basically cameras that have manual mode, but then everything else is automatic.
Yeah.
You want to set your dial to AV, which is aperture priority, and then set it to f11. And some people might have different opinions. That's the best sharpness, and if you focus on what you think is important, that's going to be the best results.
Yep.
And then use, like Brad said, use the timer or cable release, which is the little wire where you click the button and then it takes a picture. That way you're not touching the camera and shaking it when you push that button, because my exposures are 8 to 64 seconds. Some of them are 3 minutes, and I just fall asleep. Like I told you, I lie down so I'm not shaking the set, and I fall asleep while the camera's going, because it's bracketing, so it's doing three 3-minute exposures, and it's like, and I fall asleep, and I'm awake, and I fall asleep. And then a motorcycle goes by, I'm like, oh shit, man, it's 4 o'clock, I gotta photograph the rest of this before the sun comes up. So.
Well, you're obviously doing something right because the pictures turned out great. So.
Robert
Gaskell
has added the handy comment to Facebook that the timestamp for nerdy camera talk is 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you should be able to find it.
So,
next subject.
Posers can tune out at that time and use their iPhones to photograph their hunt. And people who give a shit about the 3 months of 8-hour days they put into their hunt can then start at this point. Because I tell my wife's like, do you really need to put this much detail into a thing? It's just going to be dark and it's going to be a red light on. I'm like, the internet cares.
That's right.
That's right.
That's why it has to look good, because the internet cares. And that's why I like it.
Question.
I like the people in my neighborhood that come by and they trick or treat and they say, I like your hunt. Or the little punky's all, I'm not scared at all of your hunt. I'm not scary. I'm not scared at all. But then you see him go through 4 or 5 times. And he's like, oh, your hunt sucked, but I didn't bring my friends.
Question for Craig. Question for Craig from Bruce Janzer. What's the favorite prop you ever built?
They're like children's.
Yeah, man. I like my Fiji Mermaid a lot. Came out really cool from Carnival Risk, but that's kind of it doesn't move or anything. I like Cauldron Creep. Been in every haunt since I've made them. Yeah, I'd say Cauldron Creep. That's an easy one. I like Carver Creep. He was just the 3-axis skull who was chopping up people in Hanatiki Island.
Oh, dude, I stole
like 12 different ideas from that whole set. Just 12 different things I used from that.
And I like the Rasputin head from Carnival Risk that you walk through, just because that really, for me, when I walked through the haunt, that made it special. Walking through that giant head, and I don't know if you can hear it in the video. I can't remember if I dubbed it in, but he's has this insane laugh, and there's little demon laughs inside of his head, and so it's fun because when you walk in there, that's where the drop panels are, and my father-in-law's at the end hiding behind another prop, jumping out to scare people. So that's the action area. I think it's the best. And then I like the Watcher a lot from last year. He was really cool.
So you pretty much like all of them.
No, three. I like Cauldron Creep, and the Rasputin Head and the Watcher. One for each haunt thing. Those are my favorites.
Right.
But really, you know what? I gotta say, I really like these faceless creatures. You know, the Watcher and that Mr. Horny Bones and Boner Nose. I think they look really cool. I think Brad called them Guillermo del Toro style faceless monsters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That kind of offended you when I said
kick
that.
the whole internet right now about that, but Guillermo del Toro pulls from a big pool of artists that work with him, and that's where that look comes from.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh wait, Jim took off.
He's gone.
What?
Jim
is gone.
Oh, he beat me to the pee break. Quiet. I usually wait till there's a quiet moment.
Wait, Brad? Tell on me.
Well, I feel like I've talked too long. Let's move on to the next person.
That was like the quickest shit I ever saw too, Brad.
What's Davis Graveyard's favorite props?
Right.
I got a bunch of questions here for Davis Graveyard.
Oh, no, Brad.
Yeah,
Oh, giddy.
Okay, well, first of all, from Chris Ainsworth, would like to know how long it takes you to set up your haunt and how many people do you have to set up? And I'd like to add to that, where does this whole crew come from? How do you know all these people? How did you trick them into being your slaves for this stuff?
Go for it, honey.
Well, we just set up last weekend, so we actually did it in a day.
Right.
Really, in a day,
On its own, though. The Abbey has to go first.
We have to set the Abbey up because I have to rent a scissor lift to do it. And there's a lot of, how did I do that last year?
Yeah, we've done it 4 years, and I still hear the sawzall coming out, and we're chopping something off of it. So, whatever.
It goes together different every year.
Yeah.
So we do that the weekend before on a Saturday, and then finish it up on Sunday, and then.
And it's still dark out usually when it's still doing it at 10 o'clock at night, still setting up. So it really does take a whole weekend to put that guy up.
Yeah, the first day we set up the wood frame. That takes all day, and then we put the lower panels on, and then the next day we rent the scissor lift, put the upper panels on, and get all the inserts done. And that's all prepped and ready so that the next weekend, when the crew shows up at 9 a.m., they just empty everything out of the shop and put it out in the yard, and we just go to town. Everybody kind of knows how to do it. We've been doing it for so long that we've got people that come just to pound rebar into the ground for all the tombstones.
Right.
Because they know how that works. They know where they go. They just grab the rebar and the sledgehammers and go to town.
Yeah, I set everything up. Usually we have to do it. There's a couple big props like the mausoleum and the hearse have to go up first so that I can lay tombstones out and let that process start happening. And just kind of, I do what I call musical tombstones and musical props where I just basically stand across the street with a megaphone and direct traffic and basically say, move that there, and then, oh, now that you put it in, can you move it over here now because I want it there.
We build all the tombstones so they can be swapped out. So all of the PVC pipes in the back of the tombstones are all the same size and they're all the same dimensions. So you can slide them off the rebar and put them on another one. So if she doesn't like, one epitaph next to another, or one's too tall.
Or usually it's the writing. The tombstones with the smaller writing on them are in the front, and then it gets bigger as they get towards the back of the yard, so it's easier to read.
So yeah, and then it's kind of a combination of reasons why we have the people we have. Some of them it's just because we've met them from coming to the display. We teach some workshops in the summertime. Mostly that helps fund our construction costs, or maybe just the beer costs. I don't know, or the rum costs.
Rum costs for us, yeah. It's for rum.
Rum's expensive in Oregon, by the way. A lot more expensive than it is in California, by the way.
Yeah. By the way. Yeah, so we just...
So we pull people out of that. If they really are involved, they really like what we're doing, and, we get along well with them, and they've got a real creative streak, and they've got our weird sense of humor.
That's very important.
Then we just invite them. Sometimes they're friends of friends, so the people that know us or that hang out with us say, oh, I've got somebody I think that would work real well in setting up. And sometimes we only see these people once, twice a year. Yeah. Everybody comes to the Halloween party we do. That's how we thank everybody for doing all the work that they do. We probably had, 15
to 20 people.
15 to 20 people this weekend. They come and go. Some people say, I'll show up in the morning for a few hours and leave.
I can't imagine doing a Halloween party as well.
Oh, it's
I know.
worse than Halloween.
After the Halloween party's over, I'm done with Halloween.
Yeah, by the time Halloween night shows up,
Halloween night is just like a breeze for us. after the party's over, we're just like, oh, thank God. I recovered from that for several days, and then we do Halloween. Halloween's just kind of like a breeze.
We've been through so much. The yard's been up for a month by then, so it's at that time we got it down. As opposed to some people that just set it up for a few days. It's like our first night will be tomorrow night.
And because it takes so much, I mean, 2 weekends, full weekends of work to set up. We couldn't do this like for a couple of days.
Nobody would show up to take it down.
They volunteer 1 year and they say, well, I'm not doing that again. if they do it again in September, by November 1st, they've kind of forgotten how much work it was.
Yeah.
So then they're like, yeah, sure, we'll come back and help you take it down.
It's like women with childbirth, right?
Everyone forgets
Yeah.
There's a lot less swearing at takedown than there is at setup, that's for sure.
Takedown is a little faster, but
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say another thing I learned from that video that I saw from you guys the other day that I didn't know is that you do this dancing thing. And Julie Rydell had a question about that as well. Oh, sorry, it was Rayan Chavez. How did you get a group of dancers to perform? That's kind of unique.
That's an interesting story.
It goes back to Rocky Point.
So we saw Rocky Point before it closed. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Sidney Neal's haunt in Salt Lake City, Utah.
That was a cattail, sorry.
That was a cat that just
That's the Halloween cat.
Was that a black cat that just crossed your path?
Yes, he did just cross our path.
And one of her things in her pro haunt that she did is she had this really cool indoor cemetery that was kind of part of the queue line before you got to the main part of the haunt. And so there was a huge walkway, and on both sides of it were cemetery crypts and a bunch of tombstones. And she had dancers come out of the crypt and do the Thriller routine. Zombies, the whole bit, just right out of the video, the Michael Jackson video. And she used professional dancers and amateur dancers, and she did it as kind of a training program. So people would work with a professional choreographer, and they'd learn the routine. So it was kind of a
work study kind of thing.
It was kind of like a farm team for dancers. Was kind of what she did, and she was bringing these people up into the dancing world. So we saw that and thought, oh, this would be really cool to do graveyard dancers in our graveyard. So I called our local high school dance team. Originally, I called the drama department, but they didn't want anything to do with it. And I called the dance team up, and they were like, that'd be cool. In fact, we'll even do the first year we did it, which was like 2006, I think. They incorporated Thriller into their dance routine for the competition that year.
We lent them props for their competition.
They went to competition and did the routine. And then the first year they did it, it was like 20 girls or 15 of them, and then all their friends and family.
Boyfriends.
And it just overwhelmed us. It was way too much. So then we said, well, next year can you do like maybe 8 dancers and do the routine? And so they just took their juniors and taught them the routine. And then every year after that, it's been a tradition where the dance team seniors teach the juniors the routine, and then they do the routine at our open house and at Halloween night.
It's a fundraiser for them.
It's kind of a fundraiser for them.
So donations those days are for them, and then they sell some stuff like concessions, so they make money.
Yeah.
So Cyclone Jack wants to know, do you guys do scares, or is it a display primarily?
There are no scares. There's no actors in our display. It's more of a creepy factor. It's kind of creepy, scary, hair on the back of your neck kind of stuff. There's one scare in the yard.
Right, if it's working.
If it's working.
I always have to preface that.
There's a battery-powered jigsaw that I have connected to a gate, and there's a ghost effect where the ghost comes out. A video effect comes out of the wall. And then there's lighted footsteps that come down the steps, and then the gate rattles. And when people are watching it, they're like, ooh, this is really cool, and it's really subtle. You hear the footsteps, and you see the lighted steps, and then you're standing right at the gate, and then the gate shakes. That kind of scares people.
We've tried to be pretty careful. We're on a fairly busy street, so if anybody jumped back too far,
they'd run into traffic.
They'd run into traffic, so we kind of have to keep it.
Certainly couldn't chase them out of the yard.
No, we could not. We would. It would be, yeah. Yeah.
So we kind of go for detail.
Retainer for that one.
We go for detail and kind of creepy, scary instead of scares.
Yeah.
When did you first come across and say, okay, I want to build this giant facade? And I mean, what made you come across it and say, yeah, let's go this big, let's start? And I mean, how did that come about? That's like that's like I can't even think of that doing that in my yard. Right? It's overwhelming.
Well, I know how. I tell you why it happened.
The reason why we started facades in the first place is we were really kind of working on theme for this display, and Chris was really adamant about, does it go in a graveyard, does it fit in a graveyard? And then down our driveway we have this great big giant front of our shop that's 2 stories and 25 feet wide. And she goes,
doesn't work in a graveyard.
This doesn't work in a graveyard. We need, what would work in a graveyard? Well, there'd be a church next to a graveyard. So the first thing we did was we built a church facade, and I built a 2x4 frame, and we did it out of we did a little model out of foam board, so we could add up how many panels it would be to whether we could afford to buy that much foam to build the thing.
And that was like 16 panels at the time.
In fact, we went with 16 panels. We went with 1-inch foam on 1x3 frames instead of 2-inch foam, which is what we were going to do because it was half the cost. And we thought, okay, we can do this. We do it on 1-inch foam. So then we did the whole foam texturing thing and built it, and it lasted 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, something like that. And then
I got out this picture of Holyrood Abbey from Edinburgh that I've been to a few times. So can I have this?
Yeah, I wanted to make it.
Now,
we all sat down again at the drawing board, figured out how many panels it would take, and figured out a way to make it, and then spent all summer. That project, the current Abbey that's in the driveway now, was a 3-year project. We originally built the frames and the supporting frame first, and then we had several details that we knew we couldn't get to in a summer, so we did it over 3 years, and where it is now is what we finally envisioned it to be.
Like plus 20 years now?
Yeah, I lost track of how many panels.
And did you remember to cut the top off of all the crosses to keep it?
I purposely not put any crosses in the yard.
Yeah, we got a ton of them in the.
Well, a little bit, but as far as any kind of prop with a cross, we purposely.
Hey, don't mock me.
No, you're a braver man than I, Craig. I really don't.
I'm being sensitive.
I'm being a coward by not putting the cross.
We have a couple. We have a big giant Celtic cross we built this year.
Yeah, this year we put a Celtic cross up. So.
7-foot thing in the yard.
Don Nichols wants to know.
Jesus, not T.
What does Don want to know?
Don Nichols wants to know if you've ever considered doing a theme other than a graveyard.
The fence up front just works for a graveyard. I have to think of something, maybe like a big haunted manor kind of thing, but that would be really close to a graveyard. So unless I took out the brick and wrought iron fence.
Well, we've talked about, we could do a pirate thing with skeletons.
But it would look funny with that fence.
Man, I love pirates, man.
So do I. It just would
Pirate
look funny
haunts.
with the fence.
It just looks, with the trees and everything, it just kind of fits this abandoned cemetery. And our whole approach with our core crew that work on us is you just keep fine-tuning it every year until we finally run out of things to do.
We kind of keep making it more ruined, like the Abbey's ruined and the new mausoleum's ruined. We're kind of like now trying to make it an older graveyard where it's all
overgrown and all the tombstones are falling apart.
Yeah, we're already basing everything on a European graveyard. That's why we kind of stick with the thin, just foam tombstones as opposed to the bigger monuments or what I call Victorian, anything after the Victorian period, which were fancier. So we kind of want to do that and then just kind of ruin what we currently have to the point where it just looks like it's just been there and overgrown. That's kind of my last goal, and then from there I'll have to pick a new theme.
Pirates, just retire.
Well,
if I have to start all over again, I think I'd cry. Too much work. I mean, it's 15 years worth of stuff we've been.
Yeah.
Well, you can just be like Craig and just throw it in the dumpster. Nobody
Chop
it up, throw it in the dumpster, and die.
Yep.
I think I might have to take a trip.
No, yeah, I think I would be out to your location with a trailer and heartbeat.
We've had a few people come and pick things up before.
Yeah, whenever we want to sell something, there's a couple people that as soon as we sell it, they just come get it. So.
Steve Darrow's got the old cathedral facade,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of the Monster Mud Men that we built years ago.
A lot of our stuff ends up in local haunts in town. So if you go visit the haunt, you'll probably see, oh, yeah, that used to be in your haunt. You're like, yeah.
That's cool. That's still cool.
I go visit my props at
course.
haunt anytime.
One of the things we don't do is we don't have enough space to store anything except what goes in the yard. So if it isn't going back to the yard, we get rid of it one way or another. We build something new that's going to replace something. We figure our way to get rid of that before we build something new.
Amy Nicole Marks wants to know, how do you hide extension cords if you haunt your yard?
I don't.
I don't. We just get dark green.
Dark green or black.
Yeah.
Black.
Right. There you go, Amy.
Yeah. Or spray paint your orange extension cords.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris and Jeff, you wanna touch a little bit on the video series?
Sure. I don't know why we're so crazy involved in that. So it all started with, Prop Master out of Salt Lake used to manage it. It used to be a group of folks that were, on email lists that would pass videotapes back and forth, back in the early 2000s.
Or 90s, actually.
Even in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it just grew and grew until Paul had figured out how to do everything on a DVD. So he started collecting the videos from people. He was doing it all himself, burning the DVDs. And then we got involved in taking over the awards because back in the Haunt X days, Will Schock used to do a Golden Bucky Award, and that's when we first heard about it. We submitted our videos a few times for that award, and then when we heard that it was going to kind of go away, we said, well, we'll take over the awards. We'll get people to vote, and we'll come up with the trophies, and we'll do the whole voting thing. Paul was still making the videos, and then Paul wanted to retire and move to California, and he wasn't going to do it anymore. So we said, well, we've been doing the videos for a while, or the awards. Why don't I'll take over the videos. The only difference I wanted to do was I wasn't going to press them all. He was burning them and labeling them in burners on his machine at home, and running the labels through an inkjet printer and putting them all on. And you get like 50 orders or more,
Or 100, like.
or 100. And I said, I'll do it, but I'm going to pay somebody else to produce all that. I'll make the videos, I'll collect them, I'll make the masters, and then somebody else we'll just pay a service to shrink wrap them up, and we'll just charge whatever it costs to have it done, plus shipping. And so that's kind of how we got involved. We've just been doing it ever since. We like the idea of home hunters sharing their videos and a place for people to see other people's ideas. That's kind of why I keep doing it, is so that people have some reference material for ideas and for seeing different kinds of videos.
And as much fun as YouTube is to use, it's really easy to hand your friend a set of videos and say, go check this out, as opposed to sending somebody to a YouTube video. And that lets them experience, we've had upward of 200 haunts in the past. So, and to let everybody know that doesn't do video, if anybody's ever seen the Davis Graveyard, I think we had a video once. So we say take pictures. If all you've got is pictures, get the pictures. Just
yeah, and then I just do slideshows of them and put them to music. So there's lots of people that do that.
Yeah.
And all kinds of video quality and types of videos, and I try to manage all that. I try to do it all within the month of February.
And very thanks to Necrotic Creations, who did the new awards for us now.
Come on,
Sorry, there's Hal. They look more like Academy Awards. I don't know if you've seen the new trophies. They look really nice. Oh, there's Hal. Oh, yeah. He is the mascot of the yard. Yeah, so if anybody's seen the new awards, Stacy and Robert did a really great job on those.
Yeah, the awards look really, really good. And I do have to say the announcements this year were just phenomenal.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Yeah, that was
really good. I don't know whoever thought that.
Yeah. We love that it's community involved. We try to get people, everybody we can involved in it. So thank you for.
Yeah, we try to get other hunters to do
we gotta know who in the hell sealed them damn things.
I know everybody was like.
Process.
I put extra glue on it. Could you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could tell. Well, just to fill everybody.
It got really, really all torn up. That was amazing.
Yes. Oh yeah. Just to fill everybody in on what we're talking about, if you're not familiar, the Davis Graveyard, they do put on the Home Hunters Awards, and this past year we were asked to do, I guess, the announcements, or however you want to say it, and of course we both just kind of like, holy crap, what the heck are we going to do now? we just fortunately were headed to MAC, so we put the responsibility on everybody else that was around us instead of ourselves. So that worked out great.
Delegate.
Oh, it's funny.
It worked out great. It was
Oh, that was fun.
A lot of retakes.
Yeah,
Very
that was a lot of
I'm
fun.
topping what you guys did last year, so I don't know if I feel bad for
Maybe this time we'll have it done at a different convention, maybe HotCon or a
Trans.
Transworld.
Well, it can't be Transworld because of Valve. We'll see. We'll try it.
I have a question. I have a question about Hong Kong for you guys from Jason Nichols. Are you guys doing
Really, the
HauntCon
Nichols
this year?
series?
What's Jason's question?
Which rum will you be bringing?
All of them.
What did he ask?
Which rum will we be bringing?
Oh, yeah, what rum aren't we bringing?
Rum aren't we bringing?
So you can have Jeff more rum stories. I don't know if anybody's
So,
ever been to HauntCon.
If Jason and Don are
Okay.
online listening, I'll tell them that I'm bringing my $200 boot back again.
That's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke.
If anybody's been with Jeff at HauntCon would get that.
Okay,
There's a lot of rum.
here's a very easy question from Julie Rydell. For you guys, what inspires your creativity?
I think the original, where I came from on it, was the original Frankenstein movie. And I've always really liked, that's why everything's gray. I know some people give us some grief about our color palette, and it's on purpose. Because if I could spray paint the lawn gray and the house gray, see, look at him. See if you would not supporting me. I would do it. I would love it.
I have limits.
I notice your wall behind you is gray.
Yes,
Yeah,
this whole
thank you.
room
This is my
this whole
office.
room. It's great.
Gray is
Come
awesome.
down to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he won't let me. So I would like to go with that. That's my color scheme. It's just an all gray kind of.
Probably even
Black
bigger
and
than
white
the
movie.
original. It's just all the black and white
Living Room
Universal monster
monsters.
movies.
That's kind of how we knew we were going to get along well. We both really decided we both really loved all the old.
Yeah,
There you
it's kind of
go.
our thing. In my office, the back wall is a bunch of Frankenstein collectibles and stuff. But it's
Okay.
got on it.
Then you would really appreciate Alan Hobbs's haunt that he puts on.
We've seen it.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
But we haven't seen the dark.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the new one. We saw the other ones he's worked with.
yeah.
I
Because
wish
he's
I could see it.
an all black and white theme.
Ugh.
Oh,
And it's all like the old monster movies dedicated to them. I haven't seen it yet, but I am going, not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Take picture.
oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
If he'll let me.
Tell Ellen to
See, and that's why we hate you guys. That's why we hate you guys. Remember we were explaining it earlier why we hated you guys? That's why. Freaking
Ellen.
Texas.
I need special permission to take pictures.
That's right. Now to take pictures for us. He was at HauntCon last year in Houston, and we had because of the weird ice storm thing that happened last.
Oh yeah. We got
January?
stuck
Yeah,
coming in
January.
and leaving.
Oh,
Saying,
yeah.
oh, you should just drive up and see the haunt before you. I'm like, what?
In the ice.
In the ice?
I'm from Oregon,
don't
sweetie.
think
I
that's
don't do ice.
And he was on his way out to a cruise, so he was off in the Bahamas somewhere.
Yeah.
But he said, I got somebody that could walk you through it if you want to see it. But we didn't get to see it.
Oh.
Next time.
Maybe next time.
Now, do you guys go to any other conventions besides HauntCon?
Well, we put on one here in Portland called the West Coast Haunters Convention.
Yeah.
And that keeps us pretty busy between that and HauntCon. We've been to Transworld
When it was in Vegas.
when it was in Vegas that one year.
Okay.
We've never been out to MHC or National. And we'd go to Scare LA. It's close enough, but
The time of year.
it's right in the middle of build season. In August, we're like,
Come on, guys. Come on. SoCal needs you.
I know.
if they'll move it to June
I'll give you a
or November.
Promise.
I went there this year and it was like, it's in August. Oh, that's like so close.
It's
Yeah,
every
they-
week we have booked in August. There's no
Yeah,
way I can
our
do
work
that.
schedule, because our whole crew is all works during the week, so we really have a pretty tight schedule between August and
Yeah.
September for building.
Yeah, everybody's got full-time jobs, so it's just based on the weekends, and then the few 3-day weekends we have, and which is 4th of July and Labor Day.
Mhm.
That's our big.
But we'll try someday. Maybe one day we won't do anything really big. I'll like let everybody off easy, which I don't happen.
Take a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right. But we've been wanting to go to MHC. It's just that every time we think about doing it, we've already kind of done everything we're going to do for the year for convention.
Yeah.
Jens Hans wants to know for the web you do you drag an air compressor around the yard?
No, we don't. We have a patent pending special process we use.
Yeah, Pat Penny will tell you how it's done anyway.
But I'll tell you how it's done anyway. So we don't drag our compressor around. We have an air blower that's just AC powered. It turns out, with those kind of Webers, with the hot glue Webers, it's not about PSI. It's just about airflow. So
and the temperature of the glue to make sure.
And the temperature of the glue. So it's more important that you have an industrial, high wattage glue gun that can melt glue through
as fast as you can put it through.
As fast as you can put it through. So I mean, the sticks almost just kind of fall right through it. And then with the bead coming out, all you really need is a blower, like a leaf blower. You could even do a battery-powered leaf blower, and then you just funnel it down to put a small adapter down to a small hole, and then just blow that on the glue. As long as you're blowing air in a specific direction, the glue will just create a stream and pass out. So we have I think what we're using is
one of those old spa motors.
It's a hair dryer.
Okay.
Those old kind where they put the hose comes up and they put a bag on your head, and then it's got the big dryer. And we bought it at like Goodwill, and it's got warm air coming out of it. It's a small hose, and we fitted that down to a really small little tiny hose, and then that blows right on the tip of the hot glue gun, and it just sprays. So we carry that around, and the glue gun and an extension cord. So we don't need any air to do all the webbing. Wow. It's all custom made.
Yeah, it's like us. Everything is custom made.
Chris Ainsworth wants to know what kind of numbers do you get? How much candy do you hand out? That kind of thing.
We can't do candy anymore.
We've gotten so big that we don't do candy anymore. And
oh my goodness.
We buy one bag, like a Costco bag, that we put in a small bucket for the little kids that show up first thing.
When it's still light up.
Yeah, still light up. And we'll give that out to them. But as soon as the crowd show up, we used to stand out in the street and try to hand candy out, but that gets kind of weird. People are like, "Who are you? Why are you giving me candy in the middle of the street?" So
just wear a long trench coat.
We'd go broke giving away like full-size candy bars.
I think one year I spent like $300 on Costco candy, and after that, I couldn't even get rid of it because there's so many people so deep on the fence that there's just no way to handle.
We get on Halloween night if it lands on a Friday or Saturday, we'll get 1,500 people easy.
A couple
1,000 to 1,200 on any given
Friday,
Saturday night. And then on the weekends, we usually get, because we're open every weekend in October, we'll get 200 to 300 people a night on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, what's that? 600 people in a weekend times 4 weekends plus the 1,200 on Halloween. So it's a lot of people.
We'll see after that video what the numbers are. Excuse me a second. Hal needs some attention.
All right, Brad, is there any more questions?
Yeah, Robert Gaskell wants to know, for the Davis Graveyard, if you were given one medium to work with, what would it be?
Styrofoam. I can build everything out of styrofoam.
Yeah. Now that we've discovered a wholesale foam place where we can get the foam at any width that we need it for, we've really considered rebuilding the Abbey and the Mausoleum out of not panels, but out of actually solid pieces of styrofoam.
6-inch thick.
I know that it will be more to store, but it just looks so much better and it's so much easier to put together. Trust me, this Abbey I pretty much am going to try to sell it right now for somebody to pick up in November because it's just too much for me to put together.
And you have to get on your own on how to put it together.
We'll send you pictures.
I'll send you lots of pictures.
Wait a minute, though. I do remember you all.
1 hour.
I remember you all just making a post going, "How come there's always leftover hardware?"
I know exactly. There's leftover hardware. We'll send it to whoever gets the Abbey if they want.
They can have all of the hardware.
No, auction it off. Mystery hardware from the Davis Graveyard.
An interesting story about.
Yeah, you could sign it.
We could sign it.
2 years ago.
We should sign it. That'd be
I
fun.
think 2 years ago when we did HauntCon in Texas for the first time, we were doing a tombstone class. I think we were doing an all-day seminar where we were going to make a bunch of stuff. We needed foam in the area, and they didn't have the 2-inch white foam that we needed. So I found a foam manufacturer in Houston. No, it was in Dallas, outside of Dallas. Actually, they were south of Dallas, a little ways. That I think they're called Power Foam or something like that. And they would make it. They would cut it to order, 4x8 sheets, any thickness you wanted. And I thought, well, I didn't even know something like that existed. So then I called around my local area. We found that there's a company here not too far from us that does the exact same thing. It's for architectural construction, and they'll cut by the inch. So it's like $6 an inch. So a 4x8 1-inch is $6. A 2-inch is $12, and that's cheaper than Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
then that
foam's
means,
better quality.
and now we can get like 4, 6, 8, 10-inch thick pieces.
You don't have to skin it.
You don't have to skin off of it, and it's better quality foam, and it's cheaper. So, you know, back to the medium question, that would definitely be where I'd go. Now we can just make
Well, there you go, man. There's a pirate ship right there. You can get
Exactly, we could go.
you can get the whole sheets right there. Like long ones. And I start building.
We could.
Yes. There's going to be a pirate ship someday, even if it goes in the backyard.
Now, real quick, speaking of hardware, since that came up, Craig had made a post earlier today about hardware. Well, and I'm not talking about stop it, Brad.
We are thinking the same thing.
I was being so serious too, man.
Good try.
For Cockblog.
No, Craig, you made a post earlier about some hardware.
Oh,
That you use for panels and whatnot. Can you explain that a little bit? Actually, if you have that picture, can you pull it up and then explain how that works?
I'm pulling the picture up right now.
Yeah, what was that?
I know. I still you said what it was, and I still couldn't figure out how it works.
At my current job, I work at a place that makes custom graphics for like Universal Studios and Disneyland and all that. And I told my boss, I said, I want to make like this giant panoramic background of like a forest, you know, for the blacklight forest area, so I don't have to have a stucco wall behind there. And we were talking about how to set up the panels, and he's like, you should totally try these. And I'm going to share my screen right now, so switch to it. They're called flip bolts, and basically they're like a temporary version of what cabinet makers use to put their cabinets together. So they can adjust it, kind of twist it back and forth and get everything lined up. But this is a temporary version. We use it for custom graphics, walls installations like Spider-Man movie posters. It's going to be like 6 4x8 panels, but we can't screw anything to the walls, and it can't be attached to the floor, ceiling, or wall because of building codes. So we use these to clamp everything together, because it works better than screws because it gives you a little play, and you can make joints really tight. So if you see on the screen, it's like a little vise, and you just route out a little notch in the wood of your panels or whatever you have, you know, for where they come together. You put it together, tighten it by hand, and then you push that lever down, and you can get like 200 foot-pounds of force pushing those panels together. And they're like 75 cents a piece.
Wow.
Insane.
You're our new favorite person.
Yeah.
I didn't know about these till today. I'm like, how did I not know about these?
Well, thank you.
I had watched videos how to put my own cabinets. I was like, I can build a haunt. I can do kitchen cabinets. But
So where do you get them?
Yeah, where do you get it?
I know you can get them on Amazon, like 50 pieces for $36.
Okay.
But you can get bigger and smaller ones. They make ones without that flip handle, which are the ones that they use for cabinets. Those might be cheaper. You know, if you know, like when you put hot flats together, you can get a bolt and a wrench from either side. So you can probably do it without the lever. You know, where you have 2 nuts that come closer together, and that way you don't have to screw from one to the other, and you can get so much more force than you can with a screw. You know, with a screw, you're limited to whatever the torque is on your screw gun, divided or multiplied by whatever the shore hardness of your material or whatever it is. But these, you can crush them together until your fucking plant almost split in half.
So everybody knows the timestamp for nerdy screw talk is 1 hour 57 seconds.
Drunken madness. Drunken hardware causes.
Drunken hardware.
Starts at 7:57 p.m. Pacific Standard.
What are they called?
Oh, he just posted Fast Cap.
Football is their commercial name.
Jason Nichols, in the comments section of this video on Facebook, Jason Nichols just posted them, a Fast Cap Flip Bolt, 50-piece pack. You can get on Amazon.com.
Cool.
We love Amazon.com.
Especially if you have Prime, suckers.
Yeah.
And there's how many left in stock? 9. I'm ordering 9.
Wait, hold on. Well, they're going to sell out tonight now. Craig, you should be getting a commission off this.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really about making money. I'm about throwing it away.
You're a hunter. You're a hunter.
Yeah. I'm about throwing money away. Not really.
And I guarantee there'll be a hunter like driving up and going through your garbage.
That should be in like the
34 Elizondo Street, Simi Valley, 913-604. I probably get the zip code wrong, but everything else is right.
That should be in the dictionary definition of what a hunter is. It's like the first part of it is people who lose money by Halloween.
Entertaining the neighborhood.
There you go.
Are we still talking about me, or are we moving on to next?
No. We're getting ready to wrap it up, Jim.
Absolutely.
Wrapping it up.
I thought everyone submitted pictures of stuff they were working on. I looked at mine.
I gotta go aim projectors in my yard.
All right. Well, that's okay. I understand. You guys have the world's greatest home. There's a lot of responsibility behind that.
The yard has to be up and running tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. Well, you know what? I can't thank you for taking the time out. You know, hopefully this has been a nice break.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. Our crew's outside working.
All of our friends and everything are out working the whole time we've been in here. So. At least they've been nice enough to come in and interrupt us.
Nice. Nothing like having some minions out there working.
I know. We love our minions.
We haven't seen them.
We do have
minions.
We do have to burn a little bit of time here.
Yeah, sure.
We've got to burn some time here while Brad,
You gotta count to 9. Yeah.
I was wondering when you was going to
He's
get
got to count to 301.
Jim's a little squeaky with the whole thing, so I was like, Jim, when you getting around to that?
One of the two winners is Julie Rydell.
You can't be the winner. Sorry, Judy.
The feedback is killing me.
Oh, I know.
It's Craig. It's Craig.
It's all Craig. We blame it on Mike.
To go to the bathroom?
I know it's not me.
Echo.
It's Cranium Craig over there causing all the issues again.
I don't know. He went on mute at one point.
No.
Still reverb.
Hey, you don't hear it now.
Yeah.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious. He went mute, and sure enough, there was like some reverb and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, what the heck?
No, if you joined us late at the very beginning, we were talking about the fact that Hector was kind enough to donate 2 of the 2015. I know this is 2014, but he's donating the 2015. So the winners tonight, we've got 2 of them that we're going to be announcing. They'll get the first 2 hot off the presses. He's hoping to get everything out in the mail before Halloween. So hopefully you can get your new calendar for next year before Halloween. You can go to Halloween Haunt Calendar if you'd like to pre-order or order them once they're out. But again, Brad's doing all his counting and calculation,
and Robert
Gaskell, so we can announce it.
I think count to 134. Count down to the comments. Julie Rydell and Robert Gaskell. Those are the 2 winners.
Woo, there you go.
All right. Well, congratulations. Well, if you 2 can send me a PM and we'll get you set up with Hector, and we'll get those calendars out to you as soon as they're printed and done. So, again, another thank you. I do want to throw out a thank out to Tater and Froggy's Fog, because they helped. Yes, because they helped us out tremendously a little bit earlier this year when we had our member appreciation giveaways. And stay tuned again for season 3. We'll start back up in February. And again, it's a weekly show that'll be from February until MHC. And we'll take a yeah. The only time we'll miss it is because we're headed to Trans World. Hopefully, everybody else can join us there too.
Gotta be a Trans World.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we end the show when it's time for MHC. So that's kind of our break off right there. So hopefully everybody can make it out. We'd love to see them. What we'd like to do for Trans World, and we'll put some information together for anybody that's coming out. We're going to try to pick a day and a particular time that maybe everybody can converge down, and at least so everybody can be at one place at one time. We can meet each other, and more importantly, maybe get a big group photo, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I know that have gone, that are going, that nobody's had a chance to meet or see face to face. We see them on Facebook, we see them on YouTube, so that'd be a perfect time for us to do that. So we'll get some more information out as we get closer.
Yeah, we definitely want to meet everybody, and we definitely want. We're glad that you guys took the time to come out and chat with us and let everybody from the H&H listen to the show and get to know you guys better. I'm sure they know you already, but there's some people that don't, and definitely go check out their Facebook pages. And we're just glad. We're just glad. What are you doing? we just want to thank you guys for coming out and being a guest, and hopefully on the new season we'll have a lot new guests for you, and hopefully you guys will come back and be on the show again. That way we can show all the pictures. We did a short picture thing just because we were just doing a pre-show, and we'd love to have you guys back and just show the whole haunt that you guys did this year. So we're going to be out.
We'd love to.
And
everybody have an awesome October. Have an awesome holiday, Halloween.
We hope you enjoy
Halloween's on Friday this year.
Right. And we're going to throw out the link after we get off the show. So, all right. Let's hang out.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.